So I want to officially welcome everybody to our first elevation call in November. And thank you guys for being on tonight. We're the first and the third Sundays at 7:30 Central, and that is our regular rhythm. And we have been doing this for a number of years. We've been calling ourselves Team Unlimited, though I threw out to you guys on the live today that we're ending 2025. There's been a massive amount of positive change in Zilis, in us, really in the whole path that we're traveling here, and we're partnering with a 10-year-old company that is really starting all over again. And so we have a new company with just Hal's word as a smorgasbord of offerings. And because of that, we're contemplating a new name for what we do in this phase of Zilis. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but it kind of necessitates conversations. It really kind of made me think a little bit about what this call is for. And many of you guys, this is part of, the journey that you've traveled. But, last time or the time before, we talked about recruit, retain, and duplicate. And we talked about the system, the show, share, connect. But if you kind of stand back even farther, we all really entered Zilis because of a product experience for the most part, either for ourselves or for someone else. And so there was a point where we made a personal investment in a product. We adopted that product. And so there's some questions about, does this work for me? Is this worth the money? Like those kind of questions. And I'm going to call that phase one because it's really about our own personal consumption. It's our own personal experience with the product. And then what this call is really for is the shareable health platform that really takes it one step beyond that. And that might be, hey, I've had a fantastic user experience, like Colleen just mentioned to us, and I'm looking for an additional stream of income. Is the income real? Is this something that I can learn how to do? Would others listen to me? Are my results strong enough for me to share? And that's really kind of what I think about with our Team Unlimited, which that was kind of what we've called ourselves up till now, that I'm kind of rethinking about what to call our collective group. And one of the things that really made me start thinking about this was a question I got from one of Linda Painter's team members that we saw when we were with Luis. And she said, she texted me and she asked me this question. You guys might have heard it on my live. What do I say to people when I meet them that gets them interested in Zilis?
Oh, good question.
Because she's moved from phase one, where I know this is good for me, to phase two. I want to tap into that shareable platform, but I don't know how to do it. And so I am going to have the pleasure of, first of all, recognizing Susan Everett for, look at her roll her eye. Because Susan, I mean, like, honestly, you hit your 15 bonus, 15 customers, and her 15
Yes.
customer growth bonus. And that was double to make $1,000 this month. You have not only inspired us, but it's, trickled over to your team, and you got Judy over there going, hey, if you don't sponsor them, I will. So I wanted to start with you, Susan, and I kind of wanted to hear your thoughts as well, kind of putting you on the spot. But I want to hear how you were able to, basically start with Zilis, even though I know you've told us before. So the phase one, how did you know the product was good enough for you? And then phase two, how did you tap into the shareable platform? And how have you hit this 15 customer bonus this month?
Okay, well, I'll do the first two phases, very short versions. One, you and I met, and I tried the product on something on a muscle deal on my leg, and it worked. But then what the real deal was that I had a friend doctor had told her she had a year or two at most to live. And so I tried the CBG on her, and it changed everything. And that was, gosh, what was it, Lisa, 6, 7 years ago? And she's
Yeah.
still alive and kicking. And so that's a very short version of phase one with that. And then I forget how you phrased your phase two, but phase two's basically been kind of like, okay, I want to retire or at least quit work. And but I don't want to do nothing, and it'd be nice to have some income. And so I started looking at it, thinking, gosh, if it could make that big a difference in her life, who else could it help and could I sell it? I'd never done anything. I mean, the biggest sales job I ever had in my life was when I was in seventh grade selling candles, and all of my mom's friends bought them. I've never sold anything else since then. And yeah, I thought I did a pretty good job until I realized it was all my mom's friends buying them. And I didn't have my mom's friends to buy this product. So that's been a very difficult transition for me to go from corporate America manager, where you're telling everybody else what to do, to actually having to do it yourself. So a
Yeah.
lot that's it's been tough. Um, and so with your guidance, kind of morphing into the next phase three, I guess. With your guidance, I got into networking in Evansville, and that was a real godsend for me because I needed to get out of the house and meet people. And so that was a win-win. But it didn't pay off initially. It's it takes a little while to get your rhythm about, getting into networking and, talking to strangers and remembering what they say so that you can come back to them next time and talk to them like they're your best friend. That's hard for me to remember those details. So I really have to work at that, and I botched one really bad this week. I'm still embarrassed about it, but you just they say pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and start all over again. That's what you do. But one of the networking groups I'm in is all women, and so um, we really support each other in there. Even the people in there that compete support each other. So it's really a really good group to be in. And so I've invested a lot of time and effort in that group. And so now that we have a product that is easier to explain, they want this product where I had to constantly convince them they wanted the other products. I
Mm,
had to convince them that, um, even a product like Edge was good for them, CBD and CBG it was, gosh, I wasted a lot of breath talking to them about the value of those products because they don't get it. But once you come out with the weight loss products, it's a bunch of women. This is an all women networking group. So guess what? They all want to lose weight. I don't care if they weigh 100 pounds or 300 pounds. They all want to lose weight. And now it's totally different. But the cool thing is, I had invested that time before this. So when I started talking about this, they listened. If I had just walked in the door, I don't think they would have. So that's what's helped with the suddenly get 15 this time because, well, for one, I already had some customers. And so last month I had, what it was, it 6 or 9 or something, 9, I think. And so I already had that to build on. And then I had 3 people, and one of them chased me down to enroll. She goes, I've been meaning to talk to you, but we keep missing each other. And so we sat down right there in the coffee shop when she said it. I had my phone out, enrolled her. And, we were going to, at first I started to say, well, let's set up a meeting. And I thought, heck, I got a phone in my hand. Why? Let's do it now. And so that's what we did. And she was helped me be I think she was at number 15, but she was 13, I think. So, I don't know. Did I answer your question?
yeah, you did, Susan. And, Nancy's question about what you say to people that when you meet them to get them interested in Zilis, how would you respond to that?
Yeah, that's hard because it's different with each person, and I don't think I ever do as good. I never do as good a job as you do. I listen to
Oh,
you
stop.
do it when we're out, like, I mean, if you ever get to spend a few hours with Lisa, just out in the public, not at a meeting or a one-on-one or all that stuff. Those are all wonderful times, but just to be sitting in a coffee shop with her when somebody walks in the door and she strikes up a conversation with them, and you're just thinking, I would never think to say that. But it's a great experience. But just to try to get somebody to talk to me first is asking them, getting them talking,
Mm,
and then, trying to work if they're typically they'll ask then something about your company. If they don't, well, then you find a way to say something that gets their attention. Um, And I try to be very generic at first because I don't want to run them off with a hemp or CBD statement. That's usually the last thing I tell them. I'll say we're a company that has holistic products. They're all very clean. People love that word nowadays. They're all very holistic. They're all very good for you, just depending on what you need. And it's a woman-owned company. If I'm in a women's group, that rings bells to them. So I try to say something. I try to pick out buzzwords that matter to them. And you're not lying, you're not cheating. You're just trying to, it's like complimenting somebody on what they have on to wear. You're saying something that pertains to that person. Did
That's
that help?
really good points. And my last question is just, how did it feel? And you've been with Zilis like 7 years. How did it feel to earn $1,000 bonus on top of
Well,
whatever commissions that you earn?
remember when you asked me that the other day with Luis on the phone? I said, well, because you asked me, she goes, how much did you make before? And I said, I don't know. It was so little, I didn't even pay any attention to it. And I said, but this, hey, I paid attention to this, man. I've been partying all day.
And I'm proud of you, Susan, because you've spent so much time investing in people. And we'll, further unpack the question, but yeah, I think you really made some good points. Is that before you go trying to create interest, you engage them, asking them questions and getting them talking before
Mhm.
you're going to give them information. And I think that's a really, really good point.
I
So
think
we,
that's a huge thing I've learned because I used to just throw up information on them. And I try not to do that anymore, but it's still hard. I still walk away from it time after time saying, oh, you did it again. You just can't shut up sometimes, that kind of stuff. But can I tell them about the other thing that I'm planning on doing?
please.
Because I kind of got this idea from Judy actually. But one of the ladies, well, actually, what started it was the last Tuesday when I went to the group. I had purchased, I kind of buy from other people. I don't waste money doing it, but it's things that I need. So one of the ladies sells a line of clothing. I needed some new clothes, and so I bought some from her. So when I go to that networking meeting, a lot of times I'll try to wear something of hers because then it helps her.
Yeah.
When she's talking about her product line, then I can show it off. I go, yeah, I got this shirt, I got this pants or whatever. Well, when I stood up to show them the pants, I also showed them, oh, by the way, in my B fit, now these pants are too big for me. And that kind of like all of a sudden the lights came on as far as I was concerned because I thought, okay, now I need to buy more of her clothes, right? So I got with her afterwards and I said, hey, let's pair together. Let's you do it, and this is where Judy's idea was. She's talking to some of her people about having a contest, and I think we've kind of talked to. Obviously, we do that through Zilis. So I met with her and I said, let's pair together, and let's do a contest. We'll do your customers. You invite your customers to your house like you do when you sell them the clothes. We'll offer them the weight loss contest, and I said, and I'll throw in a sizable gift certificate for your product if they'll because they're going to be buying from me each month. It's a 3-month contest. We want to get half a dozen women in it. So that gives me a half a dozen new customers. And then she'll get people looking at her clothes while they're there. And then she'll also get at least one person with a gift certificate to buy more clothes. So it's a win-win. So I don't know. We met to start ironing out all the details of it and how we're going to advertise it and stuff. And she's so excited she can't really sit still. So I feel really good. I feel really good about that because I've helped her with her business too.
That is true networking. And
Yeah.
really, just a great idea, Susan, to partner with somebody who has maybe a similar customer group,
Hmm.
um, higher end women who are looking for something fashionable and professional. I mean, like I've had cabbie clothes before and I really, really like them.
Hmm.
So I just think that that's really innovative and it's using your networking skills that you've really worked so hard to develop. And we can't wait to hear about this contest. Judy, great idea.
Thank you.
And speaking of Judy, I think you hit a bonus as well. So
Yes,
tell
I did.
us, first of all, Judy, I want to hear the same thing. Why did you give the product a try? And, kind of what sold you on the second phase or tapping into the business?
Okay, I was listening on vacation, listening to my sister listen to a recording that somebody in Zilis had made about ice and inflammation. I had an inflammation problem, so I listened a little closer, talked to my sister about it. She signed me up, had great results with it. I just, yay. And I've talked to people about it, told them, that, hey, I've got this, had this inflammation problem for years, and this is fixing it. I got some people interested. Some people would buy from it, and I thought, oh, okay, well, maybe I can do this. and Susie kind of set a goal, something about at one point we were talking, and she said at that point, several years ago, she was hoping to make enough money to pay for the products she used. And I thought, okay, I can set that as a goal. And then my other mentor, Lisa Bell, said, put it on social media. Nag, 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 nag. So I started posting social media. I try to talk to people in town. We got, I don't know, 1,000 people that live in Grayville. A lot of them are, on fixed income. So they're not going to buy a lot of Zilis, but we've also got a few young people here and a school with some families. And so there's a market out there. So I started doing the thing, and I posted about getting a contest going. I haven't heard anybody say they wanted to get in the contest, but twice I've posted about that. And both times I got at least one phone call, somebody saying, hey, listen, I'm interested. And overall, a couple of them signed up, and then a couple more, and suddenly I make money. That was fun.
And so tell us about what bonus did you hit this month, Judy?
I have 6 people signed up as customers, and I got the $200 bonus.
Which this month was more than that, right? It was 400 last month.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
that's right. That's big money.
So Judy's buying pizza. Congratulations, Judy. And I'm going to hear what your response would be to Nancy's question. What do you say to people when you meet them to get them interested in Zilis?
Well, like Susie said, it's everyone's new, everyone's different. Mostly what I do here in my little circle is I listen to people, and they complain about not sleeping. They complain about this hurts, that hurts. They make, of course, everybody makes comments about I can't remember anything. And I try to make a comment about, there are holistic products out there that are not pharmaceuticals, that don't have side effects, that could possibly help you with that. And as a matter of fact, I sell some. And sometimes people are interested in hearing more, and sometimes they're not. So, I try not to push too hard, but I definitely, when somebody opens that door, I try to at least knock on it.
Well, it's obvious, Judy. Congratulations on your bonus. Quite proud.
Thank you.
And it's super fun to see this unfold. And I'm going to ask a couple other people. I'm going to put them on the hot spot. Debbie Ray, you were able to hit a bonus. Tell us which bonus you hit this month.
I did earn 600 the month before, but then I had a couple people change their ordership to the following month. So this month I did the $400 bonus.
Congratulations.
So hopefully I'm still working on some that I've talked to all this month. Hopefully my next month will be where Susan is.
Hey man, Susan, they're coming after you.
I'm coming after you, Susan.
Debbie, I want to hear you answer the same questions if you don't mind. Just because I want to know why you felt the Zilis investment was worth your health, number one, and then how you decided to access the shareable platform.
Well, initially I started because I wasn't sleeping. And a friend of mine had just started maybe 2 weeks prior to that. She had found out about it from her neighbor. And I was still working at the school at the time. I would guess it's probably was about almost 4 years after I had the breast cancer surgery. So I was on medication for the hormone blockers. And that's, besides menopause, put me, no sleeping. Um, the pills themselves, uh, I could go to sleep, but I couldn't stay asleep. So after 2 hours, I'd toss and turn. So that was my initial. She said it was working for her. So I tried a couple trials and I said, just give me the whole big bottle. It's working. So I started on that. And my first reaction, well, if it's helped me, how can I help other breast cancer recipients um, get their sleep and possibly their pain? I mean, after a month, I could feel my hands kind of felt like stiff in the morning, like they were filled with water, like a water retention kind of stiffness. And after a month, I said, my hands don't hurt anymore. So I think it helped with water retention stiffness. And so I just wanted to share that with as many people as I could. And that's how I initially started. And now with the weight loss, it's easier because people comment. So it's easy to get started in
Yeah.
a conversation, or people just say, well, you look different. What have you done differently? And I just kind of introduce, well, I'm taking a new product and it's really helped not only my weight, but it's helped my um, inflammation, and it's helped me even sleep better, really. And I take Dream and I take an R&R, but I've actually had to take less drops of those two um, because it's helping me sleep. My skin looks better, and my hair, it just looks shinier. People just say, you just look so healthy. What have you done
Yeah.
different? I mean, they don't even always comment on the weight because I guess I hid it really well
Yeah.
in my torso, because most of my weight was in my torso. So people will comment, well, you just look healthy. Like my oncologist said, you just look different. You look so healthy. And she's actually might start next month. So she just was sick this month and I tried to get a hold of her. I couldn't get a hold of her. And so I finally got a hold of her and she said, I've just been so crazy busy, unfortunately. And I just been sick. And she said, I'll get with you next month, I promise. So she's still
Well,
thinking. And then a couple other people, it's like, can I wait another month? So it's like, okay, like, come on,
no, you can't.
and then a couple people, of course, stopped their auto ship for this past month. So they're getting another one in November. So that's not a big deal. But I didn't realize they stopped that month.
Well,
So
congratulations on your bonus. And, which is in addition to the commissions
400
that,
better than what I was getting. So
hey, it's a big deal. It really is. And, I mean, I honestly, I think it's a turning point for our company. But I want to ask, Jenny Todd's on the line too. And Jenny, tell us about what customer growth bonus that you were able to access this
Well,
month.
this month I'm access the 9 customers, so that's $600. So that's awesome. I mean, that's really, really exciting. That helps pay for the products that we use, it's just wonderful. So I'm excited about it. But I would like to say this bonus because of Lisa and Louise. I thought I was on top of it and following it, but I get a message from Lisa that Louise had sent her. And so because of Lisa's support, she was able to get me on top of that, and I was able to solidify that, last day of the month. So I thank Lisa for everything that she does. As Susan's said, just hang around Lisa for a little while and you're gonna learn a whole lot.
Hey,
yeah.
I feel that way about if y'all ever get to follow Jenny Todd around. She talks about the snore police and all sorts of really funny stuff, but she's a people lover, and it's really fun to hear how she enters conversation. Sometimes I'm just like, if I were Jenny Todd, how would she start this conversation with someone?
Business is so much fun. You can have so much fun with this business. It's a lot of fun.
Well, hey Jenny, I have a question for you. It's just Nancy's question. I want to hear what you would say, what to say to people when you meet them that gets them interested in Zilis.
Well, I'm like Susan also. I have a really hard time of not vomiting on people because I love these products. I love the sense of community. And, the more that I share this opportunity when I sit down with someone, I really, really spend a lot of time on just sense of community. People don't get this out there in the world. They don't get this. And people that are lonely and by themselves, I, I really talk about that. But I have a really hard time not being so excited about it. So I have to tell myself, shut up. And I don't approach, I just let people talk, you know,
That's
just let them talk, and they're going to tell you things, that maybe they don't feel well, they don't sleep well, whatever, and just listen. And that's really hard for me to do. But they'll eventually get around to telling you something that opens a door for you, and you say, well, you know, I'm in a health and wellness business, and as Judy said, these are all natural supplements and whatnot, and would you like to talk about it sometimes? And sometimes you can't do that right away. Don't get as fortunate as Susan did, where this person said, yeah, right now, right now, right now. So I've heard both say, when could I get back with you? Here's a couple of times, and then let's get back together. I don't know if I answered your question or not, Lisa. See, I'm
No,
here
he absolutely did.
babbling,
No, you're not, because what I'm hearing as a theme is it's not about what we say. We have to really ask the right questions to get them talking and to really listen. And sometimes you just listen, you don't even have to ask questions. And I found that there's a lot of people that really want to get it off their chest as to what their complaints
Right.
are. So thank you for that, Jenny. And I want to switch over to Marcia Smith in New York. Marcia, you got a bonus this month. Tell us which one you hit.
I got 3 people. So that's the 100 to, well, it'll be doubled.
200.
Yes, 200. And I did make that last month, and I ended the month with 5.
oh,
So I have some people I'm still trying to speak with, and some actually that have accounts, but stopped using whatever product a while ago and have some interest in BFIT. So I'm hoping to get a couple of those people added back in. And yeah, it felt good.
And
It was
so,
good.
Marcia, do you have a response to the question that Nancy had asked? What to say to people when you meet them that gets them interested in Zilis?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations to everybody that's been telling their stories tonight, because it's awesome. This team and this community is why I keep showing up. So I think what I hear everyone saying is becoming a better listener and being around people that maybe already looking for improved health and wellness. So that for me is working in this clinic that I work in. Most of the people coming there are holistic minded. They don't want to be on pharmaceuticals, but not everyone is willing to just jump into something either. So I have to listen to them. And then a lot of times I just repeat what I like. I learned this in the coaching world, but you just say, what I hear you saying is,
yeah.
you're really stuck with abdominal weight that you can't lose. And then they'll be like, yes, like you heard me. And sometimes all you have to do is just have them confirm that you are listening. And then that can kind of take it on to the next, the next transition, which a lot of times then I don't have a lot of time speaking with them, but I'll say, I ask permission if I could follow up with them outside of the clinic. This is what I do. There's products here in the clinic if you want to just buy retail. And then you get an accountability buddy with me. I'm going to be your little go-to person to answer questions, make sure you're having a positive product experience. So, and again, I've been working on the vomiting too, because I can just start talking about the endocannabinoid system and I don't stop, and I can kind of see the eyes go glassy. So I think sticking with what, identifying what they're saying and then kind of approaching it that way has worked. And then working out of a hub, if you have a hub like Susan's networking group, it just takes a couple ladies from that group and then they're going to share it with their friends. And that, I think the word of mouth after they have good experiences is great. And then just plant a seed. It's like, here's my card. If you have any questions, I have access like to the clinic patients. Obviously, I have access to their demographics. And so I'll just say like, can I follow up with you in a couple days? Here's the BFIT ingredient list. I have some copied at the clinic and I just hand it to them. And I'm like, I'll call, can I call you in a couple days? Or can I text you, whatever you like. And so that's kind of worked. And just plant seeds and try not to be too salesy, but it's hard. It's hard. It's all
Well, and
it's all
Marcia,
a learning curve.
really, really good points on that. And just, to kind of close the loop, I would love to hear just kind of a summary of kind of your phase 1 and phase 2 personally,
Mm.
if
My
you don't
yeah,
mind sharing that.
my phase 1 was meeting Lisa haphazardly through a completely different reason. And then hearing, having her share with me about the endocannabinoid system, doing my own research. And at that point, I was being told I have osteoporosis, how they scare you and that you need to go on all these drugs. And I was like, I don't want to take these drugs. And so I ended up going on the CBD, CBG, and I just kind of vowed that I would do that until I could get my next DEXA scan just to see, and I'm doing weight bearing exercise and trying to eat the right foods and whatnot. And then she just kind of kept talking to me, Lisa and Hal. And then it's like I was transitioning into trying to have my own business with sleep and health coaching with sleep. And so I just thought, well, these products are anybody I've ever talked to, they could benefit from multiples of these products, even if they just went on CBD alone. So then I started at bronze, then I, paid into it again, went silver. When I paid into it again, went gold. And it's been a 2-year journey. And I like this customer bonus. I think that's what I needed to stay motivated, because it's really hard when you're not really making anything and you spend a lot of time.
Mm.
So even though just having people have positive results is a win, but you do spend a lot of time and energy. So I'm glad that that's kind of shifted. And I think it's easier to sign someone up as a VIP. I'm still working on how to like do the business building thing, even though I do have 3 people that are business builders. They're not really actively doing as much as I would like them to do to grow, total volume. But anyways, it's a work in progress. So
Well, I'm really proud of you because you also accepted the challenge to have Louise come to your market. And so tell us about that.
if anybody wants to come here, please do. I'm a little scared about it, actually. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of scary. Yeah, I appreciate the offer. I hope that I hope the people that have here will show up and be supportive. And I'm trying to still figure out how to work a 24-hour period while he's here so he's not bored. And yeah, so I'm trying to remember everything I saw when I traveled to Indiana, make my own twist on it, take suggestions. Yeah. So did I answer your question? Did I say
Yes,
something?
you did. And your transparency, your realness, is a beautiful thing, because, even though, yeah, it's a nerve-wracking experience, you're still like Susan Everett charging into a dark room.
Mm,
It
yeah.
takes courage, every time he comes, he just left Northwest Arkansas. We had a meeting, on Wednesday evening in an area that I don't have many contacts. And the person who was supposed to invite didn't even come. So that's something that can happen. And it's just, Louise came to Colleen's business. And Colleen, are you still with us? She might have had to jump.
Mhm.
So Colleen is a massage therapist,
Mhm.
and she, is very, very new in the business. And so she has a small studio, if you will. And I had no idea how many people were going to be there. And it actually worked out amazing that I handed Luis my flip chart, and he went through that flip chart with one of my VIP customers, and then a woman I'd never met that actually set up like a little vendor store in her massage studio. And this woman was fascinated with the presentation. And my VIP customer, it was like she hearing it for the very first time, because he did the plan. And so it was really interesting to see that. Then we were able to make some phone calls with Louise, and had an evening meeting at Linda Painter's house with her team. But the challenge is usually what we kind of set in our own mind as, we have to have X amount of people there to feel like I'm successful. And the truth is, you're successful just because you're on this call, and because you're this is the most forgiving business model ever. That you, like, Susan says, you can do what you feel like is an error on day one, and tomorrow you just start all over again. I love that about Zilis. But what I wanted to really kind of drive home with Nancy's question is basically what to say to people when you meet them that gets them interested in Zilis. I don't think I've ever done that before, because what she's asking for is the script that really would, create an interest in Zilis, when I don't think that that's the way people work. I don't think they're looking for a network marketing company to partner with. And so I love that you guys really already said that. What I have learned over time, and I'm going to give you an example. We live now really close to a park, and I try to walk a few times a day. And today was a beautiful sunny afternoon, and I was walking, and there were two women in front of me about my age, and I could tell I was going to pass them by, but they were talking to each other, not paying attention. So I'm like, coming up on the left. And when they looked at me, I'm like, isn't it a beautiful day? I'm like, I'm Jenny Todd now. What would I say to these people to engage them in conversation? But one of them I had overheard talking about this colonoscopy she had coming up. And so I was like very aware of the fact that they were having a serious conversation. And so when I kind of made a passing remark, then we started engaging in conversation, and we were all walking the same direction. We ended up, me kind of exchanging the fact that I'm a holistic nurse. And she's like, oh my gosh, God sent you to me, because I'm so concerned. I have colitis, and I have this colonoscopy on Thursday. And we ended up walking like 2 miles together, the three of us, because I was trying to be Jenny Todd. And I normally would be like motoring like Susan Everett by, Susan walks really fast. So Susan Everett would fly by. And then I was trying to be like Jenny Todd so that I could engage in the moment and kind of listen to a little bit of what they were talking about. And I'm like, I have had multiple people that I have helped through Zilis with colitis. So we didn't have that conversation, but I got her contact number. I texted her, and I'm praying for her this week with her colonoscopy, and I will follow up. So one of the things that I feel like I've learned is exactly what you guys have expressed. It's not what I think, it's how much discipline can I have to not vomit? How much discipline can I have to not say the name of my company, to not say the name of my product or the fact that I have a business? And what I have to do is say, I'm going to ask as many questions as I can to see what I can find out about this person that's in front of me. So Lee Barnes always says, I'm curious. And with that, you could really say, how do you manage that bowel issue, your colitis, your pain, your anxiety, your lack of sleep, whatever your gut issues? Because that was the question that she asked me. She goes, what do you know about gut issues? And I'm like, it doesn't matter what I know about gut issues. What matters is, will she let me ultimately share what I've done for other people? And so asking and listening to complaints and probing and finding out, like, what have you done? What has worked for you in the past? And really, if you have time, and to get very, very interested in what they're talking about. And then another question is, so why do these symptoms bother you? Because you want to know how annoyed they are. I mean, they might just love being sick. And I don't know if you guys have ever met people that that's their persona. They want to talk about how miserable they are, but they are not willing to take action to change it. They don't, in their mind, they don't have the money, they don't have the whatever. And so we want to assess, are they at a point where they're open to change? Are they looking for a solution to their problem? And all that is something that I try to keep in mind. And this is what I practice when I'm in front of people. And then the other part of that is the business, the shareable platform that has created income. That for us, last month, we were on a pace to have a 6-figure income by learning how the shareable platform works, by introducing people to a product experience and then helping them reach out and impact their world. But my favorite question has been, do you ever keep your eyes open for income producing projects outside of being a waitress, being in the dental field, whatever it is we shift when you see somebody who you admire, you feel like they're a great server. They are always smiling. Like, Jenny, you're great at complimenting people for just being awesome, catching them doing great stuff in the world and saying, man, you know, I have a crazy question for you. Do you ever keep your eyes open for projects outside of what you're currently doing? Because in my world, you would be a rock star. And making those kind of genuine connections with people, having them put their name in my phone with their phone number, and then I'm going to write something on the memo to make me remember that I can get to that number again. But honestly, that has been, I think I have like 6,000 contacts in my phone. I've probably forgotten more than half of them. Like, my worst thing is follow up, but literally what I'm aware of today is it's about getting to know people. And when you can put yourself into a world where there's people out playing pickleball across from my street. I was at a Zouk dance tonight with 40 people, a lot of them from Latin cultures. And we just have to deposit ourselves and really energetically invest in where they are in life. And I feel like that is the best takeaway from, I don't think I've ever tried to get someone interested in Zilis, but I have tried to make connections with their world and be very interested in them. And that to me is what's made all the difference. So I don't know if anybody wants to add to that. Melissa, you there? I think I've seen Melissa. There's Melissa. Hey, girl. Unmute and say hi to us.
Hello.
Melissa, tell us phase 1, phase 2 for you.
For me,
Yeah.
I started with the cream topical that changed my life in 20, 30 minutes. And then I started with the drops. So help me from the inside out. And then what was the other question?
Well,
Sorry.
how did you decide to start sharing this?
Well, I felt obligated to tell people. When I'm not telling them, I'm like, I feel obligated to tell you that this is what's helping me and it may help you also. So that's how I
So it was
started.
your own product experience and
Yes.
the way that and Melissa, I'm going to put you on the spot because you look amazing.
Oh,
I know
thank
you've
you.
been on Be Fit for a minute. How much weight have you lost?
Yeah. I've actually lost a good 7 pounds and I've lost inches.
Tell me about that.
Uh, I just like my shirts are bigger, my shorts are getting bigger. Oh, and I wore a size 2, and then I went down to size 1, and the other day I went down to size 0, and the other day I was on 00, and I fit into a size 7.5 shoe, which I haven't fit into since before I had my kids. And
Wow,
you you know what I think
that
is real important too is
what?
below my knees on the inner thighs, I have these fat pockets there where varicose veins grow, and it's gone away. It's actually flat now with my skin. They used to be real puffy, and when you would touch them, they would hurt right there.
Hmm.
It's like right
So
below your knee,
yeah.
like in the inner side. And when you gain weight, they get real puffy there and they hurt. And
Well,
those
I
have
am
gone
so
away.
impressed that you are just still
Yeah.
consistent with your Be Fit and you're starting to notice more and more things that are
Well,
helping
my
your
face, I
health.
know, has gone down, and my worst critic is my mom. And she always says, "You keep doing those products and nothing's helping." And the other day she said, "You're really losing weight now."
That is
So
awesome.
and she's the one that's really honest with me all the time. She'll say, you keep going to those classes and doing all this stuff and nothing is helping. You still look the same." And finally she told me that I look like I was losing weight from the back.
Well,
She
I
said, "You
love
have a
that,
big
Melissa.
stomach."
You look great on screen. I can really tell a difference in your face. And we had
She
a ton
said,
of
it looks like I've gone down here.
yeah,
Like here, I had a lot here.
yeah. So when are we going to do
So,
the side by side social media post?
well, I did a side by side in the back, and I didn't think I lost weight. I was like, this isn't working. And then when I took the measurements and I said, I'm not going to give up. If my mom's telling me this,
Yeah.
something's working. Because my mom is very honest. She's like my worst critic.
Well, but it's a really good point, Melissa, that a lot of people would get frustrated with Be Fit because they said, "Oh, I haven't lost 20 pounds in my first week," or whatever unrealistic expectations. Women don't lose weight that fast. I think a half a pound, really sometimes a half a pound a
Yeah.
week is a really great amount of weight to lose. And so 7 pounds for you, and then all the inches, it's very noticeable.
And I haven't totaled up the inches, but I'm sure when I send my numbers in to Zilis, they have those numbers.
Well,
So, but
thank you
I'll,
for
I'll
that.
figure it out.
Well, you look amazing. Anything
Well,
else
if you're not using Zilis products, you're not glowing.
there you
That's what
go.
I say.
Well, let me ask you last question. Anything else you want to add? What you say to people to get them interested in Zalise?
Well, like you guys have said, everybody's different. So it just depends on, if they're complaining about
Mm.
issues, if they're complaining about money, For me, it's mostly been about product, but I'm learning how to do the money part. I'll tell them, you know what? Back in August, I had $800. I booked my flights, I booked my room, I had money to travel, I went on a cruise. I could really talk about it because I've seen the money, not just $7. I've seen $800, $300.
Well,
I've
and
seen
so
the money.
tell us, have you been able to access the customer growth bonus yet, Melissa?
No, no,
Okay.
I always have somebody quitting their auto ship.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge for all of us. So that's another topic that we'll talk about, like how can we help people see the benefit of staying with a product. But it's a good goal for all of us. I think 3 is a great goal. Marcia, you hit that this month with a plan to get to 6 the following. And um, I just am proud of you guys, because when I look at who is really accessing the customer growth bonus, a lot of them, are on this call. And so it's an investment of time and learning. None of us started with this background. And so it's the process of learning and, being a believer and having a strong belief. And then also, as Debbie mentioned, and Melissa, you look amazing. People are going to start asking you more and more what you're doing, and it's going to give you an opportunity to really share BeFit and your BeFit story. So
I
keep
did
doing what
notice
you're doing.
my legs aren't hurting as bad. I always, I always have leg pain.
Hmm.
And I noticed, we went to Florida and then I came back and they were hurting a lot. But being consistent with BeFit, I think it's helping the leg pains.
That's amazing. I'm writing that down. I want to kind of
I,
look into
I
that
do.
and
I
see.
suffer a lot from leg pains.
And is it like, is it where you described it before, or is it in a specific place in your legs?
From exercising, just arthritis,
Gotcha.
constant leg pains. I've always
Hmm.
had that.
Well, thank you for
So
sharing, Melissa. It's good
I
to
was
see you
thinking it
tonight.
was BeFit.
Be fit.
BeFit
That's
is
that's
it.
very interesting. We're learning all the time new things about Be Fit. Well, that's really honestly has helped me a lot. And if you guys have any thoughts about a new name for Team Unlimited, one of the suggestions was the Wellspring Collective, because this is a collective and we have a source for wellness, and business can flow from that as well. So that was one of the suggestions. But do you guys have any thoughts, or do you want to share any thoughts about that, the name of Team Unlimited?
So you just want to pretty much rebrand, correctly?
Well, yeah, because it's a new day for us.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. It's a rebrand.
Yeah.
Hey, Mary, good to see you.
Yeah, I'm in Iowa right now.
Oh my, you get around, girl.
Not really. My son had back surgery. Still can't get these
Oh,
people to use Zilis. I'm like, I haven't had to have surgery. Oh, by the way, I have a praise report. I put it that way. I got on the scales this morning because I'd not been losing weight, but I had not been gaining. I was down 2 pounds.
congratulations.
And
That could be like,
I've been forgetting to take Zilis in the afternoon because I was having to take it twice a day. And different times I'll forget to take it in the afternoon. Because I don't need it as much, or I wouldn't forget it. I would feel it. Before I could really feel I needed it very badly. So, and I take a cocktail of different things. So I take the BeFit in the morning. I also have the Amalaki and the Vibe, and have some Edge later on. And then in the afternoon, I pretty much repeat, only use Shield and Glow. So, or
that's a great,
flip flop it. So I'm pretty impressed with the results, that the inflammation's down. And I made
great.
the drive up here. I have used 3 Ultra Edges today, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also still not getting any sleep. So and I'm on the meeting. So
Look at you. You look
And
great,
thinking
Mary.
still. I'm still able to think. It's still working. So that's a
Well, you
long
look
way to
great.
go.
And 2 pounds can be really 4 weeks or more of be fit, because normally we gain weight. So losing two
Well,
pounds is
after my
big.
daughter moved in, it's been a horrible battle with the extra stress and then not able to get, and I was really in the habit of exercising again. And then when I got back from the lake, when I did my retreat, everything has gone to where, yeah, right. I'm lucky to get 2 miles for a while. Some days lucky to get 2 miles just walking around the house kind of stuff. So I've not been able to get back into my pattern. And so I'm really grateful that the product's really helping me to not gain weight, to keep the inflammation down, and to keep my appetite down. Like, although
Awesome,
I
Mary.
binged on popcorn last night like crazy. I'm not gonna
Hey,
lie. It
you don't
just
have
it
to
was
you don't have to
bad.
confess. It's all good. But thank you so much for sharing, and we're going to be praying for your son in Iowa.
Yeah, and I guess before I could get on, I guess you know about Lori's sister?
Yes, yeah, we were talking with
Yeah.
her before that.
Yeah, I
So
was busy with my family, so I'm gonna think about that though. Say that say that name again. Wellness Spring
yeah, the Wellspring Collective. So that was just one thought, and we're going to continue
or
to
a
mull it.
Wellspring team. It'd be easier to spit out than Wellspring Collective.
The team. Yeah, that's an option. Gene
Trying to think of a way
Workmeister.
to get going, make it easier to get out and memorable. But
I want,
collective, it gets a little cumbersome.
yeah, Gene. I want to hear your thoughts.
I'm about brain dead.
Hey, you know what?
We've
I
had
just
some rough days. But
also want to say thanks for being on, because I know it's been a rough week for your family, and just condolences to Lori. She just lost her oldest sister last night.
mhm. Yeah,
And
and yesterday day we went to a funeral or a celebration of life for another brother-in-law. So I mean there's a
it's a
lot on
lot.
the plate. And we
Yeah.
brought Shirley home from rehab on Saturday. So there's a lot of irons in our fires right now. So
Yeah. Well, we
thank you.
appreciate you being on, and despite all the things going on in your family. That's true commitment.
Thank you. And thank you for all the prayers. They are
Absolutely.
appreciated.
Absolutely. They're being lifted as we speak. Well, listen, I'm going to stop the recording. So this has been a lot of fun to hear about the success